The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to This Week in Cincinnati. I'm Tanya O'Rourke. First today, Newport's new police chief, Chris Fangman. Chief Fangman has been with the department for 15 years. He served as the Patrol Division Commander, SWAT Team Commander, and Neighborhood Liaison Officer. He succeeds Chief Tom Collins, who served as Newport's chief since 2012. And with us now is Chief Fangman. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on your promotion. It's really wonderful. And I got to say, a lot of people might know the name Keith Fangman, your uncle. You are from a generationally, you guys are all police officers. So you decided 15 years ago to head to Newport. That was okay?
Yes, I consulted my grandpa, who started in Cincinnati in 1962, I believe. And I have two other family members, to include all three uncles that worked for Cincinnati as well. And I spoke to them about the opportunity that Newport offered, and I spoke to my dad with them and explained to them the benefits, the salary, the retirement, and they said I'd be a fool not to jump on the opportunity. So God blessed me with Newport, and it's a great place to be.
Good. And so what are the biggest challenges you face as chief?
When I got hired, the levee was exciting and busy, and it was where everybody was, and it was a very exciting place to be. And again, much like when the levee opened, we're on the verge of an explosion of economic development.
Right.
So a big challenge is something that we challenge ourselves, and that is to stay ahead of the curve and meet all the expectations of new businesses and new residents.
All right, let's talk about crime in Newport. What types of crime are really plaguing that city, if at all, and how are you combating it?
So what people don't remember sometimes is that we're in the middle of a 2 million person metropolitan area. Yeah. Cincinnati, Covington, and Newport are in the epicenter of that area. And we're the urban core. We're very proud of our neighborhoods and how successful they can be so close to the urban core. It's a much more almost suburban feel in some of our neighborhoods. So crime isn't plaguing, I would say, by any means in our neighborhoods, and we have a good handle on it.
Is there one thing, like, are we dealing with drugs? Is drugs the primary issue, though, that law enforcement is dealing with on a daily basis?
I'd say that's accurate, yeah.
You were the new neighborhood liaison officer for some time in Newport. That had to teach you something that you did not expect. What'd you learn?
Yeah, so being the neighborhood liaison officer was a fantastic opportunity to really learn the silent majority of people that really support the police. Going and meeting with them one-on-one and gaining respect both ways with our residents is phenomenal, and it really lets you know that people do support the police, even when the times are hard across the country. Our Newport residents are second to none in making us feel appreciated.
You talked about being in the epicenter. You got Covington, Cincinnati, Newport. Have you met with the other chiefs in the area? Are you guys all working? Are you coordinated? Are you sort of a fraternity of some sort to deal with, like, hey, this is what we're dealing with, and here's how we're moving forward. Here's what you guys might do too.
Yes, the other chiefs were very welcoming. One of the first things that I was able to do was attend the Campbell County Police Chiefs meeting, which is once a month. Then there's also a Northern Kentucky Police Chiefs meeting once a month, and they're one day after the other. So we can
lot of meetings.
We can talk about everything and get on the same page. And there's a lot of groundwork that we've been doing for several years of training with each other.
What is something that you want the folks of Newport, since you are still new in this position, they've seen you around for 15 years probably, maybe some have had interactions with you as a liaison officer, but what do you want them to know about you as the police chief of their community? I
want them to know how much I enjoy the city of Newport. I could not be more appreciative of their trust in me to hold this position. So much positive feedback. I want them to know that I'm genuine and I care and I thoroughly enjoy working in Newport, and I have my entire career.
So about a year ago, the I-Team looked at use of force by departments across the tri-state. Our review of police records found Newport officers hit people in the face 11 times since 2016 and were never criticized during the reviews of those incidents. In some ways, the department was out of line with federal standards on the use of force by police. The officer responsible for many of those incidents is no longer with the department, and that was a year ago. So what has the department done since then to change things, and what do you want to do going forward?
A police department is a living, breathing thing. I really appreciate what you all do, and I appreciate media outlets, but those are for TV, and we have a sense of we still need to put our head down and wear our white hats and deal with personnel issues. Whether there's a story going on or not, we still need to make the right personnel changes and deal with issues. There's problem employees at every level of profession, and we just need to do the right thing and stay on top of that.
Okay, so finally, you've been, how long have you been chief now?
Just over 2 weeks.
Just over two
Yeah.
weeks. So you're still in this honeymoon period. So do you have like a list of 3 or 4 things that you could share with us of what you really want to accomplish in your first year?
In my first year, already the new music venues being built. There's already a lot of talk about the explosion of economic opportunities. I want to be prepared. One of my main focuses is to have our department prepared to meet those standards. It's very important to me for us to be paramount, a paramount police department that can deal with Fortune 500 companies and be there for everybody's needs. Other things I want to do is keep going what Chief Collins started, the direction of a great police force that is out there in the community, very community oriented. I want to keep that going. I want to make sure our officers are at every neighborhood event and to be there for everybody when possible.
One last thing, since you do come from a long line of police officers, those serving our communities, what did your family think when you said, I'm going to be chief?
It was just an overwhelming sense of congratulatory feelings, and being in this line of work and being around the dinner table and Christmas dinners and knowing what it entails to be a police officer, they couldn't have been more proud. It's a fantastic family that I have, and I couldn't have received more support.
Chief Fangman, it is nice to meet you. It is nice to have you here. Congratulations on your new post. We'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure of it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Up next, a new group that wants to change the focus of the conversations about race in Cincinnati. We're going to talk with one of the leaders of Jubilee Cincinnati about its call for an alternative economy. What in the world does that mean? We'll be back.